Hi everyone, it is your realtor Tia Deutschmann back with another video, and today we are going to be discussing 10 steps you need to take to prepare to buy your very first home. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Step 1, save your money and build your credit. So there are a lot of costs involved when you buy your first house, and those costs you may not be aware of at the time since you have never bought a house before. So there are a lot of hidden costs. And also you require a down payment. So in Ontario, you require 5%, anything under 500,000, 10% between 500,000 and a million, and 20% down anything over a million. So just to give a quick example, if you're buying a house for 400,000, you will require a $20,000 down payment, which is 5%. If you're buying a house for 800,000, you would require 5% down from up until the $500,000 mark, which would be $25,000. And then between $500,000 up to $800,000, you will require $30,000, which is 10%. So a total of $55,000 is required for a house that costs $800,000. Every country, every province, they may have different requirements. That is what's required in Ontario by most lenders. I would say that is the standard. Step 2, understand additional costs. So with a house, you don't just need a down payment. There are a lot of different costs that are also involved. So there's moving costs, meaning your trucks, if you want to buy new furniture, any other decorations, any renovations. Also your lawyer fees, they can be $1,000 plus for them to basically search the title and things like that. Then you also have closing costs, which can be between 1 to 3% of your loan amount. And then in terms of realtor fees, there's no realtor fees for buyers, which is amazing. Step 3, getting your pre-approval. So one thing I do recommend is not just walking into your bank and getting a pre-approval from them. I would actually shop around for different rates, and also going to a mortgage broker because they know best. They know better than us realtors do. They know better than you guys would, just because they do this full time. And also your bank might give you a lower pre-approval than what another lender would. And most people don't shop around and they think, oh, I'm only approved up to 500,000. Meanwhile, another lender would have given you 600,000. So it's very important to shop around. Also, one thing that a lot of people don't know, just as a side note, if you are in a salary-based job, from the day you started, you cannot get a pre-approval up until 90 days of you working there at minimum. So when you're self-employed like myself, you need to prove 2 years worth of income. Step 4, decide how much you can afford. Just because you're pre-approved up to 800,000 doesn't mean you have to spend 800,000. Step 5, find an amazing realtor who you trust, who is reputable, who is driven, who has time for you, and who is on top of it, who understands the market conditions, who is not afraid to get dirty and get on their hands and knees and check out the whole house upside down as if they were buying it themselves. You need to find a realtor like that. Step 6 is understanding market conditions. So this is where your realtor also comes in. Your realtor should be educating you. This isn't 1983 where houses are going for $120,000 or less and you're not bidding on them and you're throwing in a free roof and, cleaning lady comes with the house. It doesn't happen like this anymore. Essentially, houses are going for 100 to 150 over asking. Make sure that your realtor understands, they do their job, they're doing CMAs, they're comparing it to different properties. I do a very, 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 very thorough research for all of my clients because I'm usually pretty spot on. I'm actually very proud of myself. I don't want to float my boat too much here, but I do good research. So it's very important to have a realtor who is doing their research, and this can take hours. Step 7, choose your search criteria. So what I mean by that is now that you kind of understand the market conditions as your realtor informed you and updated you on what is going on, you now have your budget that you've decided on, you have your pre-approval dictating that this is what you can afford, you understand the market partially. You will understand it better once you submit a couple offers. But now you can decide what property type is reasonable. Step 8. Now is the time to go and look at properties. So now that your realtor is informed on exactly what you are looking for, which will be tweaked as you go out, right? You might realize when you are looking at a property, wow, I really love that the basement is finished. Like that is now a top priority, or whatever it may be. Things always come up. So now that you're looking at properties, you might not buy right away. You might not offer right away. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at a bunch of properties, and hopefully your realtor will let you know what they went for and how many offers there were. And this will continue both of your education. Step 9, submitting your very first offer. This can be so scary. Submitting your first offer, most buyers think they're going to get it, right? They're like, oh my God, do we really love it? And blah, 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 blah. So they're also very scared to get their feet wet. In this market, you probably will not win your first offer. And if you did, then you might have caught the market at a good time, or there wasn't enough exposure, or maybe it was a bully offer not a lot of people have walked through. So there are some scenarios, but on average, I would say my buyers submit about 3 offers, maybe even 4, until they win. And it's really an education level and also a comfort and making sure they don't overpay. That being said, I don't want them to submit 20 offers, because not only does that piss off my buyers, but it pisses me off. So I just want it to run smooth. I want to make sure everybody's well taken care of and that things go good. So that being said, I have had buyers that won on their first offer. It doesn't just never happen, but I would say in most scenarios, you will submit more than 1 offer. And like I said, roughly around 3 offers, I would say, has kind of been my winning streak. So step 10 is negotiation. So that is also more so in your realtor's hand, but what is in your hands is standing ground on your budget. So during negotiations, let's say there are multiple offers on the property and you were one of the offers. So now the listing realtor comes back and says, hey, you have a chance to improve. You are on the lower end of it. And guess what? You've already went to your budget. Let's say your budget was 800, but you are approved to 900. So my obligation as a buyer agent is letting you know, hey, we have a chance to come back. Would you like to? A lot of times they do, and they will go higher. So I would really advise thinking about that. You could go buyer poor, but the thing is, if you are pre-approved to that amount, there's a stress test that's being done, so you should still be fine. You also have to consider there's no finance conditions in there, no home inspections and things like that. And if you really love the place, you're going to go your max. But I would just be very, very, very cautious during negotiations, because your stress level will be through the roof. You are borderline ripping out your hair. So don't be going all in all the time. You will win eventually when it's right. I hope that helped you to prepare you to buy your very first home. And if you have any questions whatsoever, shoot me a message, email me, comment below. There's so many ways to reach out to me. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. All right, bye guys. Thank you for watching.